using card number 5 of my 2015 holiday card series, and we're going to be using this adorable stamp set from Mama Elephant today called Reindeer Games, and I'm just going to ink that up with my Favorite Things hybrid black ink and use my Copic markers today to color him in. I'm going to go ahead and place all the caps for the ones that I'm using, so you can see what I'm using as I color him. But I'm going to start off with the E33 here and just color in around his belly and around his mouth there. And then I'm going to take E15, I believe it is. Yeah, E15, and start around his head. Now, my reindeer kind of turned out a little bit darker than I was intending for it to be, but that's quite all right. I mean, he turned out just fine. So he was still cute in the end. So I am laying down the E15, and I'm going to take E18 and just go around the edges there. And then even though I don't have a color in between the E15 and the E18, I'm sure if you are familiar with Copic Coloring, you have seen this next technique. But what you do is that you just take your lightest and kind of touch it with the marker, the tip of the marker, and kind of blend it that way. And it kind of helps to blend the two colors together if you don't have an in-between. So I like to do this if I don't have those in-between colors, and it really does help out with the blending. So I'm going to continue to do that and get him all blended out. And then I'm going to work on his body here, and I'm taking my lightest again, the E15. And he's such a little small image that you don't have to blend a whole lot, but you don't want obviously rough edges either. So I forgot where I was, and I started to do around his mouth, and I just immediately stopped because I didn't want that. But I took my lightest color and kind of blended that out a little bit, so you really can't tell, that I started to do that. But I'm glad I caught it when I did. That would have been horrible. I would have had to start over, I would have felt, knowing me. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take my darker color and go around just a little bit of his body there, and do the same thing that I did before on his head. And I'm just going to blend that out. And whenever I do color, Copic markers are my only alcohol-based markers, so I really do prefer Copics. If you are a fan of the Spectrum Noir, obviously, you could do this with any coloring medium that you've got, whether it's Copics or Spectrum Noirs or even watercolors. So, just have fun with it, and, do what's fun for you and what feels right to you. So, and of course and I've said this before, I'm no expert in Copic coloring, but I'm trying to color more and more and get a little bit better as time goes on. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off by coloring his little antlers here. And I really didn't want to do blending with another color, so I just kind of darkened up the edges with the same color. And then I've just added just a little bit of red, obviously, to his nose there. And then I'm going to take my green, and I'm going to add, because I colored his nose with the red and the little around his neck there where his little, little collar is, and just add a little bit of green just for a pop of color. So, and then I'm going to color in his little hooves there. So I finished up that, and now I'm going to take this circle die from Simon Says Stamp. This is from, I already previously cut the square piece, a while back, and it was in my stash, so I wanted to use it today. And so I went ahead and die cut that circle in the middle there. And now I'm going to take some of these papers that I have in the Snow Dance kit from Create a Smile, and I've chosen one of the pattern papers in it. And I'm going to take a stitch square, which is the stitch squares from, I believe it's Lawn Fawn. And I'm going to die cut that largest square out. And that's going to be kind of like our base onto our card base. And I'm just going to apply that on the bottom, and you can see how I'm going to lay that out there. And then I'm going to kind of work on my sentiment. My sentiment comes from another Mama Elephant stamp set. And I really do like this one here. It's called it's from Jingle Greetings, I believe. And I'm going to get this one that says Merry Christmas to our family, to yours. And I initially was going to just stamp this down in black, but I decided to go ahead and heat emboss this. But so I'm going to I'm figuring out where I'm going to place my stamp, where the best place was to put this. So I decided to put it on the left hand side of my little panel here. And I'm just going to pick that up with my acrylic block. And then I'm going to, like I said, I intended to start out by stamping this in black, but then I decided, you know what, this would be probably kind of neat to heat emboss it. So I'm going to stamp that with my Versamark ink, get that good and covered, and I'm going to use my powder tool and prep that surface so the powder will only stick to the areas that I want. And I'm going to stamp that down. And then I'm going to get out my embossing powder, my Ranger Platinum embossing powder. This is the liquid platinum. And so I'm going to apply that embossing powder to my sentiment here. Get that good and covered. And I'm going to go ahead and heat up my heat gun and heat set that. Now, I would tell you guys, it's hard for me to emboss sometimes on camera because my heat gun is just like right there and my cord is really short. It's like tucked behind my desk. So it's kind of hard for me to show you guys whenever I do emboss. I try to put that in, but sometimes it's just a little bit too difficult. So that's why you don't see me actually embossing the image. But I will show you obviously the end result here, so you can see how pretty that turned out. And now I'm just kind of placing my pieces again and making sure that's how I want my layout. And I decided to go ahead and add some lawn trimmings. And so I took out my red and white lawn trimmings here, and I just cut a little piece with my scissors. And I'm just going to wrap that on the left hand side there and tie that in a bow. Nothing really special about it. I sure didn't want to show you the struggle that I had to tie a bow because I am worse at tying bows. I don't know why. But you can see how that bow turned out. And of course, you'll see the final end of the pictures too. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some adhesive on the back of my pattern paper here and add that to my craft card base. My card base today, or my card, is obviously going to be a square card, and it's I believe it's 5.5 inch square card. So and I added foam adhesive to the back of my die cut panel here. I'm just going to apply that to my card. And then I've also added some foam adhesive to my little circle piece as well. So I'm going to take off the backs and add that as well. And then what I'm going to do for some final touches is take out my Wink of Stella and add just a little bit of Wink of Stella. Oh yeah, I was going to take off some of the ends of my little string there too, my lawn trimmings, because it excuse me, it was a little bit too long for me. So I went ahead and trimmed that up. Now I'm going to add the Wink of Stella to his nose and to his little collar there. And then I'm going to take my this is the Irresistibles. This is a little bit like on Glossy Accents, except it is a little bit more thinner and it dries a little bit faster. So I added that to his nose and his collar and just going to let that dry, and that completes our card for today. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, go ahead and give that a thumbs up for me. And I appreciate y'all watching and subscribing. And I also added at the end 2 more videos that I think that you would be interested in. So I will see you guys next time in my next holiday card series.